Content warning. Guys Will Be Talking is a podcast centered on media with some pretty dour subject matter. If you're particularly sensitive to any type of content, please check the content warning list linked in the description before continuing. In my restless dreams, I hear that podcast. Guys Will Be Talking. Hosted by me, Jacob, as well as...
Me, Victor.
So today we will be wrapping up our discussion on Silent Hill F. And I, personally, actually played quite a few games to prepare for this. So last time I talked about how I had only ever played like the original trilogy of Silent Hill games, and I was being pretty annoying in qualifying that every time I would talk about how the series has historically been. So for this, I also played Silent Hill Origins all the way through, as well as a bit of Silent Hill Shattered Memories. I would have really loved to play Silent Hill 4, but I was mostly just playing stuff I could play on my Vita. I also finished a replay of Silent Hill 1 just to kind of get a refresher on that. And then there's also another secret game that I played that we'll get to that Victor doesn't know. I think,
Shit.
unless you figured it out.
Probably didn't.
But yeah, it was
Silent Hill
interesting.
Ascension?
No, I'm never touching that one. I wouldn't touch that with Pyramid Head's giant razor blade. So quick little thing. Silent Hill 1, cool. Relates to this game a lot more than I expected it to. This game also, I had said, starts off a whole lot like Lisa, and it kind of finishes off a whole lot like Lisa, very interestingly.
Kind of?
Silent
I'll have
Hill...
you expand on that later, but
yeah.
Go on.
Silent Hill Origins, not bad. You know, the post Team Silent games. So Silent Hill Origins was the first Silent Hill game developed outside of Team Silent, and it was made for the PSP. And the post Team Silent games get a really bad rep. And Origins, aside from being like so kind of annoyingly tied to Silent Hill 1 because it is like a prequel story, other than that, it was pretty good. It had some kind of annoying jank. So like the original 4 games had tank controls and mostly fixed cameras. You could rotate the camera a little bit to kind of have it aim more where your character is facing, but it's still like jumps between camera angles as you move around. Silent Hill Origins keeps the mostly fixed cameras but gets rid of tank controls. So there were a lot of times where I had to like run back and forth between camera transitions because it would do a full 180 flip of where the camera was. So the direction I was pointing my stick at was now moving Travis backwards, which really sucked when I was running away from a big monster.
Damn. I can't think of what kind of other games were there with camera fixed that didn't have tank controls? Because Resident Evil had tank controls too, right?
Yeah. There's a similar thing with the kind of like later down ports of Onimusha. So Onimusha 1 and 2 were ported to PC and Switch and maybe other things several years down the line. And these ports, I think you have the option to play tank controls, but by default it's not. And there are some similar issues in that, but it's a bit more graceful than Origins was. Origins also did have a really cool mechanic though, where in the other games it's like you transition to the nightmare world and back to the real world based on like story progress or like dungeon progress. But Origins had a pretty cool system where mirrors would teleport you back and forth between them. And so you basically would be in a dungeon and you do as much as you can and then be like, all right, whatever I need to do next must be in the nightmare world, so I need to find a mirror to take me there. And that
Mm.
was a pretty cool um evolution to the series that I don't know if any other game stuck with, because the only other post Team Silent game aside from Silent Hill F that I played was Silent Hill Shattered Memories. And playing that game,
Just before we get into Shattered Memories, I'm curious about the Nightmare World. I remember watching a full playthrough of Super Mario Patrol playing Silent Hill 2. I don't remember there being nightmare sequences, or did I?
it's not a dream sequence. So what it is anytime, like since you saw that, anytime James, generally it is triggered by the character going like and like the screen getting like shaky and blurry, and then where the environment they were in is now like a dark and like industrial environment.
Oh,
So
right.
yeah, in especially in the first one, it's like the normal world is very obscured by fog, and then the nightmare world is very obscured by darkness. Um,
Hmm.
and then everything gets this like rusted metal look.
Okay. Okay, I
So
see what you mean. It's just that Silent Hill F swaps around straight up the architecture style and not art direction, but like the very style of what you're doing. You literally feel like you've been transported into another world.
yeah, yeah, I still am contending with whether the nightmare world is the dark shrine or just Ebisagawa. I think I said that wrong. Being covered in the flowers. Um,
Right.
but yeah, so Origins actually pretty cool. Shattered Memories, I really understand why the Western games get a bad rep with Shattered Memories. What the fuck were we doing here? I want I want to still finish this game, but I could not bring myself to do it in preparation for this. Especially because
Why?
this I was unaware is like a remake of Silent Hill 1, which I had just fucking played, and then
Bruh.
played Silent Hill Origins, which is also very similar to Silent Hill 1. You're exploring a lot of the same environments because it's a prequel. Um, but Shattered Memories is so fucking weird. So there's no combat in it.
Hmm.
Instead, when it wants to be scary, it's like they just put you in a chase sequence where you're like running away from all the monsters.
Oh,
Uh
that's okay.
there were no pterodactyls in my playtime, which that's pretty egregious to me. Silent Hill 1's core identity is heavily involved in pterodactyls.
I've
So
seen some videos on YouTube. Those pterodactyls look fucked.
yeah. But it's like this weird third person over the shoulder thing where you're kind of walking through Silent Hill looking for Cheryl, because the story of Silent Hill 1 is pretty simple. It's just like you're a guy named Harry, you crashed your car near Silent Hill and your daughter's missing and you got to go find her. And so in the in Shattered Memories, it gives you the fucking heavy rain ass
Oh God.
call out to child button. So I spent the first hour of this game calling out, Cheryl! Cheryl! Cheryl? Sweetie?
God.
Cheryl? Cheryl! So that was pretty fun. There's also a weird, like, psychiatrist that you talk to, throughout the game. Like, you'll solve a puzzle and then it'll cut to what I assume is a post-story psychiatry session with Harry and this guy. And the game is like, this game is always monitoring your psyche. And it does so by basically asking you, like, are women people or not, in your opinion, at the very beginning of the game. So that was cool.
Cool. I mean, it is cool to have a game that being direct like that. I guess.
I guess. So, there's also a bunch of, like, mobile games. I don't know how the fuck I'm ever gonna play those. I did buy...
No, the real question is the pachinko. Are you going to buy a pachinko machine to play the Silent Hill 2 pachinko?
Yeah, I will definitely import a Silent Hill 2 pachinko machine and just put it in the corner of my living room. That
Right.
sounds like a really fun idea, actually. I did buy Silent Hill Homecoming, but I didn't start it. But I'll get to it eventually. So, you know, to wrap up my series retrospective monologue, I do want to talk about the secret game, because that'll be a bit more of a discussion for
All right.
us. So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When you say that you had been playing The Witch's House to prepare for the Silent Hill season because you're not into horror games because you're too scared. By that, do you mean that you launched it one time and played it for a few minutes?
No, I played it with my sister, and we played through 2/3 of the game.
Okay.
We still haven't finished it. She was always with me. That was what we did.
Gotcha.
Why do you ask?
So the secret game I played was The Witch's House.
Oh
This
shit!
I did this before you had brought up the idea of playing it in the future. But I basically just wanted to get a sense of, cuz like I didn't have to do it much for the last section of the game, but basically to get Victor through the rest of Silent Hill F, I had been like sitting alongside him as he played it to be moral support.
Because I'm really just scared. I was just really fucking scared of, like, I mean, I think I ranted about it enough in the previous episode, but just to quickly, I guess, say it, it's like, it's not really the monsters and I mean, I get jump scared, but what really hinders me was just the atmosphere of being alone and being only with silence, with the sound of my footsteps. There is actually there is this game Super High Patrol recommended last year or maybe 2 years ago, because time is weird, called fucking I don't remember the name of the game, but it's basically you're in the back rooms and then you're in a swimming pool, and it's like, it's just a walking simulator. Do you know what game I'm talking about?
No.
Well, I played 5 seconds of that game and I went, nope.
Uh-huh.
Despite knowing, having High Patrol certifying me that no, there is no monster in this game. It's just you and the atmosphere, and it's silent and it's the vibes, and that is what absolutely terrified me. So yeah, so okay.
So hold on.
So,
let me do my preamble to this. So basically, I had been sitting with Victor for one of these sessions, and he had been telling me about the Witch's House again. So I was looking it up, and I looked at it, and I was like, how scary could this possibly be? I should try it out. And then I looked it up on how long to beat, and it had it at like under 2 hours. So it's like, oh, I could really easily jump in there and play this game. Uh and so because I just basically needed to know, like, if this was the baseline and this was a game that Victor like still needed someone there for moral support, then like I guess it must be pretty scary. So I played it and I think we're cooked. If this
it is less scary, than much less scary than Silent Hill Earth.
so the reason I asked if, like, by having been playing it you meant launched it one time, is I finished this in one sitting. It took me like less than an hour and a half to get through this game. Um the scariest thing about it for me was how fucking annoying it could be every once in a while when it decided run away from a giant skull that crushes you the second you come in contact with it. Uh it's a cool game. I liked it quite a bit. But yeah, what is like what is the scary factor of it for you? Because we kind of glossed over it last time, where I was kind of making fun of a section in Silent Hill F where you were like in a convenience store and there were normal toys and
Yeah.
candies, and then you turned them around and they were evil, scary toys and candies, and that's kind of what the entirety of the witch's house felt like to me.
No, I feel like the witch's house is cool in the way it's scary. Like
It is cool, but I do think all of the scares are like kind of funny.
So I mean, when I started playing Witch's House with my sister on my side, like it was basically me walking along and being like, oh god, I'm going to get jump scared any second now. Basically, every time I entered the room, I was like, this is meant to be spooky, this is meant to be scary, whatever. And then my body and brain were like, oh look, you're gonna die. Oh look, you're gonna die. I mean, not oh look, you're gonna die, but it's like I was always tensed and ready for a jump scare or for something scary to happen, and me like opening a door, up a room and going inside it and investigating it was like, oh, I don't want to interact with everything. It's going to progress the game and then something scary is going to happen.
Uh,
It's really dumb and basic, okay? Um yeah, that's the baseline. So I understand now what you were saying, like that you were not so sure about making doing horror games later on.
yeah.
But did you have something else to put forward?
No, I
Because
just
now
got
because it's good. Okay, perfect transition then. 'Cause
I did want to say that, like, all the ways you die in the witch's house are like the ways Crash Bandicoot dies, which was really funny.
damn, that's for real.
Yeah.
What?
It's literally like
Does he get shot by a toy soldier?
Oh yeah, I forgot. I didn't get shot by that toy soldier because the puzzle was kind of obvious, but no, there is a point where it's like this may actually be a spoiler, but there's a fucking like sea of poison you have to walk across, and if you step in it, you just like disintegrate, and it's like the way Crash Bandicoot would.
Okay. Don't worry, like my sister already spoiled me on the game when I was like 12 or 13. Like
Is it that
it's her
old?
first horror game. What?
Is it that old?
Oh yeah, it's when I told you what to was pitching it as a retro gaming thing, I wasn't kidding.
Okay.
You played it for free, right?
I think I
Right?
paid like $2. I don't know. I bought Witch's House MV, which is the one that's on Steam.
Oh, no. Uh-huh. Actually, maybe you should. Huh. Because I mean, I don't know. I haven't played the MV version, but like, uh, I don't know how much of a rework it is compared to the previous one, or if it's faithful.
Hmm. Well, I think like based on the Steam page, it's just kind of a conversion of it in RPG Maker MV, which I think gives it more accessibility for like controller support and shit.
Oh,
Because I played it on Steam Deck.
Oh, okay. And yeah, that and I imagine that if it has decent reviews, then people who've played the original game would have okay. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's probably a good then. But yeah, all the games I wanted to recommend you, all of them are free because they're RPG Maker's games that were made back then when you were just releasing your game for free on the internet. Uh,
Okay.
because you could.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
a sucker and I'll still pay the like $5 for all of them so I can play them on Steam Deck without a hassle, but yeah, cool that they're
Fair
all
enough.
free theoretically.
To be fair, like those games have completely been made with only keyboards in mind.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's a good chance that the MV version doesn't exist for the two other games. But
Well,
anyway.
they're on Steam and
Oh,
verified last I checked.
damn. I did not even check. Cool. Um, so, uh, last week on the podcast, we finished the school section. What happens after that is another Dark Shrine section, uh, followed by shit.
I,
Hold on.
I got you,
What?
homie.
Yeah,
So
just run me quickly through the what we went through together after the where we ended the pod.
so you basically wrap up that school section in the Dark Shrine where Hinako kills all of her friends in various ways. And then wakes up to realize that Shu and Rinko have left her behind.
Hmm.
And but have at least left the gate behind the school open so you can then run up the mountain to Shu's house. And that was basically what we did next.
So then we go up the mountain path. We do another Dark Shrine section, which we will talk about in length.
Uh-huh.
and
The,
then we did it does the Shimizu residence, so Hinako's home,
yes.
and that's once you help me get through that, that's where we stopped our sessions together. We stopped that at the end of the week, and then it was Monday, and I had work. I was working from home, and I was feeling kinda down. I mean, the usual feeling of like that I am wasting my time and not doing what I want to do, and uh, the usual spiraling I kind of got used to. And it was in the afternoon, and for some reason I felt like, damn, I could play some Silent Hill F right now. And so I was like, yeah, okay, let's just boot it up and see what happens, I guess. And so it's the next Dark Shrine section that it starts at, and it's a very spooky one. It's another one of those you have no music and there is only the sound of your footsteps. There is an escalating sounds of grating sounds and like how would you describe those? Like screeching sound of metal.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like I don't have the right vocabulary, but really feels bad. But honestly, I booted up and I felt fine, and being there made me feel better. And I still can't quite put the words on why. But basically, I did the rest of the game all on my own without any help. I'm I mean, I feel like I've wasted your time because I ended up being able to do it, but
I mean,
I
it took some getting there, you know. Who knows if we would have gotten there. But
right,
I'm glad we did.
like basically I played through the rest of the game on my own, and it felt like eventually I was getting at a point where I was kind of understanding that the mood of the game and the horrible things it were showing me and all that stuff were fun to be with as an escapism thing, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that really draws me to these games is that they almost give me just a sense of chill and calm cuz it's like I don't know, there's something about being in like the stress of real life and working, and like especially in my job where I don't know when the next really stressful thing is going to happen, and then
Mm.
going on my lunch break and playing Silent Hill on my Vita where like it's 100% oppression all the time and it's almost comfortable that I know I'm going to be oppressed every step of the way.
Right, like it's not a matter of like, oh, I'm playing this game that is so much worse than my actual life. Like that's not how it works. The game is of course not, no matter how horrible the horror is, it's never worse than what real life can be. But it's, as you said, like there's, the game is showing empathy to you in a way by oppressing you in the same way that real life is doing it, but except that it's doing it on purpose.
He's
Um,
getting it. It's happening.
so I
Chase
hope
this
I
feeling, Victor.
so and in order to chase this feeling, I don't want to just stop on this podcast, stop on this podcast and then get to other genres of game. This is why I proposed you earlier that we keep playing horror games after this one.
Okay.
So namely, they're RPG makers as games, and as you said, they're not scary at all. But then they make for a good transition for the game after that I will not speak of here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we will talk about future plans later on, but I hope I can still play, even if I will draw my like. It will take some time to me to feel completely at ease and like, oh, just breezing through those games as easily as of our genres. I hope we can keep playing horror games for this podcast,
Yeah, I'm also
despite
going
me
to
being a
suggest
huge
some
pussy.
stuff for you to just play
All right.
for your own sake.
Uh, I gotta tell you though, the more stuff you tell me to play for my own sake, the more I'm putting off playing Sekiro because I have other stuff to do.
It's
I
okay.
gotta finish Sekiro first.
Sekiro is a horror game. So that's the thing is we played through Dark Souls, and then you had always talked about wanting to play Bloodborne so bad, and I'm like, there is no game I've ever played that's scarier than Bloodborne. So I don't know what the fuck you're on about here. But
I mean, I bet playing Dark Souls on my own without anyone would be scary, like atmospherically speaking.
So I
So,
think a big thing too with these games in terms of like the comfort that they give you is that you are generally like underpowered in some way, but you're at least given the tools to fight back. So the kind of horror games I really don't like are like Outlast or something where the only way to get through them is to like run around and hide from the monsters. And it's not even because I find them to be scarier, it's just that I find them to be kind of frustrating and boring. I do not want to hide in a fucking locker until I think the big fat man has walked far enough away for me to continue forward. But like in Silent Hill and Resident Evil, they're like, yeah, there's all these fucking zombies or sexy nurses trying to kill you, but here's 5,000 handgun rounds. So go nuts.
damn. Honestly, Resident Evil Requiem sounds like a fun game.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you play a couple Resident Evil games before it because it's very much like, hey, our it's a 30-year anniversary game and it comes with everything you'd expect from that.
Yeah. All right, I hear you. It's the Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate of Resident Evils.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, you could appreciate it on its own, especially Grace's sections, but uh there's a lot more to appreciate as a pseudo finale parentheses hopefully to 30 years of Resident Evil games.
All right.
So,
So,
that being said, I think in the Dark Shrine section immediately following the climb up the hill, which I kind of feel like there's not really anything to say about, your Kate bushing until you get to Shu's house.
Actually,
Um,
I want to talk about just in general, um, like before we get into the nitty gritty of kind of talking about stuff, the game as we progress, like how we felt about the second part of the game. Um,
well, that's kind of what I was leading into.
okay. Oh,
I wasn't doing a story recap a la Lisa and Gods Will Be Watching. I was just kind of trying to lead into the next point of how the second half of this game
I've
goes.
sinned. I'm backseat podcasting. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So so you finally get to Shu's house, and when I played this section, my fiance can probably attest to this because she was sitting with me the whole time I was playing this game. For the next several hours of this game, I had the biggest fucking grin on my face going through it. Because and I'd message Victor, holy shit, we need to play the next section as soon as possible because they fucking cooked here.
Yes, they did.
So, Hinako becomes a werehog, and your shitty dark shrine weapons get replaced with a fucking giant fox arm, and she goes beast mode, and like every time you're in the dark up until this point throughout the game, anytime Hinako would like pass out in the real world, I'd be like, no, no, not another fucking Dark Shrine section, please. And that is what was happening when she got knocked out right in front of Shu's house. But after this one, I was like, yeah, yeah, Dark Shrine, yeah, yeah. Every time Hinako
Hinako
would get a little
Unleashed.
EP, yeah, Hinako Unleashed. That so so I think that's another thing that probably made this second half of the game far more bearable for you is that when you're in the Dark Shrine, you get a fucking werehog arm, and it's fucking sick as hell.
Sure. I mean, uh, I feel like again, I'm feeling more like I can't really reason. I've tried before being on the pod. I've tried reasoning out like, oh, I'm getting more used to how the game works, and so it's more predictable, and so I'm less scared of the jump
Mm-hmm.
scares. But that's not true because honestly, I could tell before when a jump scare was coming. Like my reason was on point. Like in terms of basic game design, this game isn't complicated, nor does it need to be. It's just a really emotional matter that I can't that I have a hard time describing why. But that being said, that next I like you've told me that you thought that this section in particular was dragging on, and you were a bit like stressed out about me actually pulling through. And I mean, also you didn't know at this point I was playing on my own, but like
Mm-hmm.
because it dragged on for so long for you. To me, since it was the moment I kind of things kind of started clicking, I'm like, damn, that's the best Dark Shrine section yet.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I mean, I'm going to say some really dumb shit, but it's like, oh shit, I've started looking at the environment more. I was like, damn, this is the first time the Dark Shrine is so fleshy, and there are all those rotten lumps of flesh everywhere. Everything seems putrid. And I was like, damn, the game is cool as hell. There is a room where you hear some fucking chains and um, steel balls clanking on wooden plates, and you're like you expect some of those enemies with the big chains to jump at you, and it's like, or at least to be in the room where you walk into, and you go there, and you watch the room, and you see the whole room, and it's like, oh, it's empty. But then once you get inside, the guys just pop off and ambush you from the hallways. And it got me. I didn't expect it, but I still didn't jump out scared. I was like, damn, shit, the game is kind of cool. It's doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
mean,
really interesting. We kind of had the the opposite trajectory with this second half of the game.
yeah, that's how it feels like to me.
So yeah, I guess like how do you feel about this game overall then, as this being your first Silent Hill game and basically your first horror game that you've
S-
completed.
So, man, I mean, okay. I need to talk about the first Silent Hill thing because I feel like I'm a fake and a fraud for thinking the stuff I'm thinking about the game. But I have no choice because it's like, oh, consumed at least 4 different podcasts talking about Silent Hill 2, at least 3 video essays, uh, a full let's play. Like, I know there's a lot about this game and why it matters in the like landscape of video gaming or cultural landscape or whatever. Very French term that I've translated right there. And like, I can't help but feel like Silent Hill F is a Silent Hill fan-made game.
Hmm.
In and the reason for that is just because I'm I'm just going to get out the negatives out of the way. It's because I feel like the game is in theory really, really good, but in practice missed a bunch of character beats, or at least I feel like they did. I feel like what the game is ultimately about, especially when you look at the endings, is like feels really detached from the first half of the game that we covered in the first podcast. Um, but overall, aside from that, I don't even really mind the combat that much. I actually kind of enjoyed it in the end.
Hmm.
Like, the items things are still fucking annoying and shit, but it's serviceable. Like, I could play that combat. I wasn't being triggered by it, and I think I really liked it. Like, I would actually, I think, play a new game of this game. Uh, I think
Like a Silent Hill F2.
no, I think I would replay Silent Hill F.
Oh, okay.
Like, genuinely, I think maybe not alone, maybe like not in the sense that I'm scared, but in the sense like maybe to show it to someone or something.
Hmm.
But like, I think it's pulling off a bunch of really cool stuff that I haven't seen a video game do. A bunch of stuff that I feel fully equipped as a man to talk about.
Yeah, yeah.
uh, and I fucking I think it's like I really like the art direction of that game, and I like the things that have been put into the music. I feel like it's really a shame that the writing didn't, or maybe not the writing, more like the narration has some issues that like have prevented this game from being like really a game that I loved. I think it's I feel overall very positive about the game, but it's a bit frustrating because it was very close to be really great for me, but
Hmm.
it kind of fumbled in some ways.
Yeah, I kind of feel that too. I mean, my kind of feeling on it is not really like super positive or negative. It's kind of neutral. Like, I think it's technically like I'm glad this game exists.
Right. Yeah, this is what I wanted to say with the fan game made thing. Like,
Yeah.
it is amateurish in a bunch of ways, and you can tell that it's using the Silent Hill language a lot, like to the point where it's almost an homage more than like an actual uh like it's more an homage sometimes it feels like than it being having any actual stake. Um, but I'm glad it exists. I think it's cool as fuck.
It's kind of in this space, and I'm really glad I decided to go on my deep dive in relative deep dive on the series for this, which is like, if you I think, like, especially relative, I'm just going to compare it to Origins right now, because comparing it to 1 through 3 is not fair. um well, comparing it to 1 is more fair, comparing it to 2 or 3 is not fair,
I
but
mean, I feel like you kind of have to, even if it's not fair, because this
yeah.
game is obviously. I feel like, I mean, of course, no, actually, go ahead because I
I
was about to say it took mostly from Silent Hill 2, but
Yeah, I just
as the Silent Hill head, I feel like you're more.
I mean, I would argue it took a lot more from Silent Hill 1, Well, kind of a mix. It's a lot more 1 and 3 than it is 2.
I haven't played or watched videos about 1 and 3, so I'm going to take your word on that.
Yeah, so the point I was ultimately getting to is like, if you put 2, 3, and F in front of me and ask me to pick one, F is losing every single time, so that's not fucking fair. But like, if you put Origins and F in front of me, like, and ask me which one I'm happier exists, I'm picking F. But if you're asking me which one to play, honestly, I'd probably pick Origins, which is the unfortunate place that F finds itself in for me, just because, like, I don't know, I really didn't like the combat at all, and the more I understood it, the less I liked it. Except for the one Dark Shrine section where you are Hinako Unleashed and your powers are kind of building. That part was really exciting. But like, I'm gonna be real, after the Shimizu residence, I wasn't really like vibing with playing the game. At that point, like, literally I finished the game and was gonna be like, I know I say never to do this, but if you want to watch the rest of the game on YouTube, go for it.
I'm glad you didn't, because
Yeah, me
maybe I
too.
would have picked up on your offer, and I would have missed on. Honestly, I feel like there are stuff that it's one of the parts after the Shimizu Residence it feels like cool, had such a good potential to actually make work the new game plus format they went for, to make you replay the game as part of the experience, but it just misses the mark because of I don't want to jump the gun. I want to talk about Shimizu Dark Shrine and then Shimizu Residence first, in that order, right?
I mean, we don't have to do it in order. You can talk about whatever you want.
No, I feel like no. I feel like it's better for the podcast to do it that way.
Okay.
We don't have to talk about everything and resume everything, but I do feel like we need to talk about how the game presents things in order.
Sure.
Because there is some stuff that's achronological in its story, but it chooses to show you the things in a certain order
Yeah.
on purpose.
I think too, the thing that last Dark Shrine section after the Shimizu residence, the thing that really disappointed me about it and why I felt like it dragged so much is that the previous 2 Dark Shrine sections had really fucking cooked with something. Like, the one in the school had Hinako killing all her friends and like walking into the darkness symbolically and literally, and then the next one after that was her getting her werehog arm, and then this one was just like, I don't know, another Dark Shrine section, which was really disappointing to me.
Aren't those folks statues scary?
Yeah. Sometimes their eyes glow.
Oh. I mean, it is like that. I kind of enjoyed it, but it is like that.
I
Yes.
also feel like a really strong aspect of the other games, mostly the original trilogy, because Origins kind of fumbled on this aspect too, is that like the different environments have different enemy types. And I mean, in 1 through 3, they work the fucking same way, unless it's a pterodactyl, like you just shoot them before they can get to you. But like, man, how many fucking times do I have to fight the cyst pregnant woman and the fucking giant guy with a drum in his stomach mouth? Like,
Yeah.
I was during that last section where you're kind of just chasing after something and Hinako's screaming her fucking lungs out, which was cool. I was just like running past every enemy. I could not be fucking bothered to fight them.
Yeah. I think you're supposed to.
Yeah, I think so too, which is why, like, when you get an achievement for catching up to the thing 3 times, I was like,
yeah,
that's an achievement. Like, that's
come on.
Like, I thought that's just how it was supposed to be.
So Fox-kun, as Inako walks into the darkness with the door closing down on her. Fox-kun, Fox Mask-kun, warns her the path ahead is one of great suffering. My man didn't lie. It's a whole level where Inako gets her Werehog arm and other powers through trials. I just want to talk about the trials or the ceremony. I don't remember which word he used exactly. There are 3 of them. The first one is getting that Werehog arm. Man, they put Inako in front of a shrine, and very carefully, very slowly, some Miko maidens put some sacred water on her arm, and give her a little something, a little wood thing in her mouth. It's actually Fox Mask that directly gives it to her so that she can bite on it. And then they come out with a big saw, a big nasty wood saw. And I was like, oh no, they're going to saw off her arm. Nope.
They're not gonna saw off her arm.
They give it to her.
And make her do it herself.
She gets to work. Oh god. This is horrible.
But it's really funny because they don't just bring that out, but they bring out a big fox arm, specifically right arm, which just so happens to be the same arm that Hinako is like unsleeved, like all her uniform has been ripped in that section. So it's very, like, I thought it was pretty clear symbolically something's going on with this arm, like something's gonna happen to it. I didn't know this is what was gonna happen to it. So yeah, I mean, crazy, fucking insane that they make her do it herself. They present this arm and then they give her this fucking saw, and
she just gets to work.
She understands the assignment and just starts sawing off her arm.
And I just let's talk about the other sections before we start. I just want to talk about the other section.
Okay.
The next trial is they bring out a big ass casted iron, like big back wide big wide and with a symbol on it. For this time Fox Mask presents Hinako with the wood to bite on. She refuses it. She just takes that big cast iron like a big girl and looks fucking horrifying. Her back looks fucking horrifying. The skin has melted off in that flower pattern.
So she gets fucking branded with the same like flower icon that Fox Mask has on his garb. Interesting point to make about this later that we will return to. That I did not really make the connection for until after I finished the game. But the final trial is that they just fucking cut off the top half of her face and replace it with a fox mask.
Jesus.
Pretty normal, pretty chill.
Also, you realize as the Mikos are moving around that their fox mask isn't like the fox mask. Like I said Miko earlier. Miko is basically like a priestess.
Yeah.
So they're all girls wearing traditional priestess garb, and the way they look, like their veins are protruding from the masks, and it's darkened on the edges. You can tell that it's not a mask, that it's like melted inside their faces. And now you understand how the process of that works. You cut off the skin of the top of your face like a fucking Zorro mask and replace it with a fox mask.
And this is the
Jesus
first
fucking
time
Christ.
after this happens, like when she's finally got all her trials done, this is the first time she's like, oh my god, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Like, up until that point,
Mm,
she had basically been numb.
yeah. So I wanted to talk a bit about the symbolic here because I feel like this is the point at the game where like it's caught on. Like I was intrigued by its cinematography because up until that point I was kind of just frustrated with Dark Shrine Hinako and how I didn't understand how this character came to be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this time I was like, okay, there's something going on about Fox Mask deliberately giving to her the. There is something about three things. One, Fox Mask deliberately preparing something for her to bite onto ease her pain. Two, Hinako deliberately doing it herself, like
Mm-hmm.
not it having been done to herself, her accepting it. And three, Hinako refusing the second time the thing to bite on. And it ties in especially to what we learn at the end of the game that basically this Hinako wants this. She wants the trials the fox is offering to her because she's preparing to get married to him. And this is like basically this game is presenting it as like this Shimizu Hinako, is Hinako, not Shimizu, because she will lose her name once she gets betrothed, I guess. Um, is she wants this married life and she is ready to suffer in order to get it. And she isn't being brainwashed by the fox, it's just that she's powering through it despite the suffering. And I think it's really interesting. The fox mask is interesting because I was just, as you see in the end of the game, he isn't ill intended, but when he sees the Inako's suffering and understands it for it to be suffering, he, rather than making her not do the things that are making her suffer, he gives her something to alleviate the pain, but still makes her go through it. And I find that interesting. Like, if we go, I mean, we really go metaphorical from this point on, really, when it comes to analyzing the themes of this game. Um, when it's talking about marriage and stuff, I feel like it's talking about how a man in a relationship will um identify the woman's suffering as something to be cured, to be fixed, rather than something that shouldn't happen in the first place. I
Mm-hmm.
guess. Um, I don't have. For now, I don't have anywhere else to go now. But this is part of the this Dark Shrine section fucking cooked. Like it really made me it made me think about stuff in a way that the previous stuff didn't. Not even the killing the school friends part, because I was like beyond it being looking cool, I was not really sure what it meant for Hinako as a character.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I think like you don't even get those answers really. Like the thing going into this game that the only thing I really knew about it was that everyone said like the first ending sucks because you have to play multiple playthroughs to get the different endings that will show like tell you what's really going on. Uh so, we finished the game, saw that first ending, and then watched the rest of the endings on YouTube because I'm not replaying this game. I really hope you do start a new game plus of this game so you can tell me how different it is to the main game, because I know a lot of things do change a little bit in like the process of playing the game. But honestly, like none of them I felt really gave you any solid answers. They were all kind of like metaphorical, ethereal things meant for you to interpret the meaning of. And in all that, I actually did find the first ending to be like the best one. It for
Yep.
me at least. I
I mean, the first ending, I feel like it's ironic because it feels the more like the true ending.
yeah. I mean, it's just like this is the ending that's actually like, oh, here's what's been going on with Hanako the the whole time or Hinako. And so you totally fucking called it, by the way. We were talking about this in the first session. I don't know if you remember where I was complaining like why the fuck are there Arare and red pills if they do the same thing? And you said it's probably tied to an ending. Uh and it
Yeah.
is. In order to get any other ending, you have to not take the red pills in the new game pluses. Um
Yeah.
so the I think like where um and yeah, and that really ties into what you were saying with the whole practices of the fox mask. Like I I never felt like the fox mask was a person for
Hmm.
me, which is also kind of part of why I feel weird about the other endings because the fox mask is a person in the other endings. Um I kind of felt like more that he was a process happening within Hinako personified. Um
I think I can tell who the most Fox Mask is and who he represents as a person at this point.
yeah. I mean that's the thing that really disappoints me about the other endings is that he is just a fucking person. He's the in I was watching you play a little bit and you got to the playground and found
Hmm.
the like memory of a kid who was attacked by a fox, and then
Yep.
you read a note that's like something something Kotoyuki something something, and I saw you and I read that note with you and I was like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." Because while I'm sure they call him Kotoyuki in the new game pluses, I only watched the ending cutscenes for them where he is referred to as Kotoyuki.
Yep.
So so I was like, oh, I guess Kotoyuki is this kid that Hinako saved from a fox in elementary school and then moved away for whatever reason.
Yep.
But for me, in playthrough 1, him being the pill is a lot fucking cooler.
I I mean, yeah, I understand it in a like I just don't think that's what's actually the backstory of the game, that for some reason it never tells you directly what is actually happening. And like, I mean, I liked thinking about it, but the fact that I had to watch a YouTube video for it, I have a problem with that
Oh,
inherently.
oh, did you watch
uh,
a ending explained video for this?
no, no, no,
No?
no.
Oh.
Just the I just watched the endings. It's
Oh,
just
okay,
that
yeah.
from what we can gather from the endings, to me, Kotoyuki, like, for one, we see Inako in the school uniform all this time, but when Inako is being taken to Silent Hill, she is already around 20 to 22 years old and is being ready to be married. And Kotoyuki is the one that she is marrying.
Yeah.
This is where we understand that why Kotoyuki is the way that he is, why Hinako is being torn between choosing marriage and choosing to go postal, Shu that is giving her the pills. Um, I think it all ties itself together really well, but for
Mhm.
some reason, I feel like all of the games should be about that and just keep the childhood school stuff, because I still have no fucking clue who the little girl that dies at the very beginning is there for. I was still
Sakuko.
waiting for the game to kind of answer that, you know, to be like, okay, why was she to Silent Hill, and why did she die like that?
Yeah, I think that's the other thing is like the all all of the endings kind of are a lot more like theoretical, that you have to piece together what was happening, what they meant um in a certain way. But I think the thing that really attaches me to the first ending, I do like the second ending a lot, where it's like they're getting married and she becomes the faceless entity and her face is left on the ground screaming like, no, I don't want to be like my mom, I don't want to be like my mom. That was really cool. I do like this narrative of being like a woman who is facing the prospect of losing her identity as she's married off to this man. That is a really cool story as well. But I think all of these endings are making you think about what the meaning was the whole time. And for me, I just get the most meaning out of the first ending of
Yeah,
what I think the first ending is, I guess I should say. Cause the first ending of just being like the revelation that she's basically OD'd on these pills and is going through psychosis um ties a little more into how I was feeling earlier in the game, with like the prospect of her killing off her friends and moving on to being like someone else and kind of dealing with that. And that is what's happening in both of these endings. So I don't know. I did not like the one where you get the Fox clan lore and he's a fucking demigod and she's the fucking woman sacrifice for the clan or something. I have no idea what the fuck was going on in that ending. That was a little weird.
wait, which one?
It's like the third ending, I want to say,
The
where,
one, the one where she ends up with her second personality and she chills out
no,
in
that's like the fourth ending. The
uh
There are like three quote unquote canon endings you can get after the pill ending. One of them is like the one where she just gets married off to Kotoyuki and is her face is left on the ground screaming about how she doesn't want to be like her mom. Another one is like she beats Kotoyuki and ends up with Shu instead or something like
yeah,
that. And
yeah.
then the other one, or maybe that is the one where you get the Fox Clan revelation.
I think it is. You get the Fox Clan revelation. I think the way it's trying to work is that it still wants there to be the possibility that like, oh, maybe this is happening for real. Maybe there are spiritual gods, and that Kotoyuki was the lost son of this clan that
Yeah.
has the relationship with the gods of the foxes, and he wanted to. Have as a wife Hinako, that girl that saved him before, and be kind to her, and like all the other assholes of his clan. I think it's fine. Like I like it. I like that they did that, because it's I like you may the one interpretation is like, oh, this is all happening for real. But if you want to go metaphorically, oh, some bastard of a very well off famous Japanese family uh wanted to be different than his main family, and actually marry and love the girl he wanted.
Yeah.
uh I think it
Yeah.
works.
You know
I just
what?
don't think it's
Yeah, you're right.
delivered super well.
Yeah, I can see that. I also think like the ending where there are the two Hinakos and they're like just accepting that she can be two people at the same time was kind of neat and wholesome. Um
Yeah.
I really fucking loved the alien ending. I love the alien
Oh,
endings in
that
all of
alien
these
ending is
games. They're
so
so
good.
good.
Oh
So
my
so
fucking god.
that is just like a thing in all the games, is that there's some kind of joke alien ending. I loved I loved that the dog from Silent Hill 2 was there. Because instead of the alien ending in Silent Hill 2, it's that James finds out some dog has been pulling a bunch of levers, which has been what his torture is.
Yeah,
So
I saw it.
and I do think it was already kind of quote unquote canonized that the dog is part of the aliens, because the alien ending for Silent Hill Origins also has the dog in it. But yeah, the
Fucking
presentation
dog.
of this one was really cool, being like a contemporary. This takes place in what, the 60s or 70s, like a
60s.
contemporary 60s manga. That was really fucking sick. I loved that.
Yeah,
Um,
it's fucking great.
but the um
Yeah, we kind of went on a tangent here with
yeah,
the
I don't
endings.
know.
Oh well.
oh
Oh well.
oh well. So oh man.
Did we talk about what happens in Shibizu residence? Because
Go,
aside
go
from
for
the
it.
Dark Shrine, so the Shimizu residence has Hinako going in her home, except her home becomes the back rooms, and it's horrifying.
Yeah,
That section to me was the scariest of the game. Uh,
I remember.
yeah. A bunch of hallways, of a bunch of doors leading to several ways you can be jumped from. A lot of silent parts. You don't know when is it that shit is actually going to hit the fan. Um, but that's what's actually scaring me. It's not what happens at the very end in the first ending where you just run through a bunch of environments being chased by monsters as Hinako is screaming her lungs out. That one is like, I was like, damn, the game is really, really trying to scare me right now, as I'm not scared.
Oh, you think so? I didn't think it was really trying to scare you. I thought it was trying to give Hinako her fucking like today is the day I live moment and just go fucking beast mode in real life.
No, not the one where she chases after the first fog monster. The one at the very, very end, where you have this very cool section where you will run through several environments, and she teleports every time, and a bunch of
Oh,
monsters are jumping from
yeah.
everywhere.
I forgot you had to run away from everything. I forgot
Yeah,
about
this
that
part is
section.
really not. This part could have just not been there. It should have just been cut. Honestly, it would have made the thing much more impactful.
I guess it leads into like
The
the
psychosis thing with
psychosis
the
thing.
P.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. See, this game is really good in theory.
Yeah, it's great on paper. But that's also why I really wanted you to play it and not like watch it, because I feel like watching it would just be really great, because like watching it is basically just watching it on paper. Like if you're watching a playthrough of the game, then they generally know what the fuck they're doing and know to just keep running, and like it probably feels like a really cool cinematic experience running out of the Dark Shrine, because that's what you're doing. You're like escaping, you're running through all the different Dark Shrine sections. Uh and like the pills are starting to appear around you, and they're getting bigger and more prominent until
Hmm.
she finally just like collapses from too many pills. Um the the thing Sorry, I'm all over the fucking place with this. The
No
thing I
fucking, no
did
worries. We're bowling.
So the thing I did really want to mention is that I think compared to all the other Silent Hill games, which is why like I think it makes more sense that people think the first ending of this game is bad and you have to play the other endings, because the other endings do kind of feel more like they tell you what was actually happening, even though I kind of feel like they don't necessarily do a very good job
They
of
really
that.
don't.
Um
And I don't think they're meant. Like, actually, this is where I kind of appreciate the game, because after all this time using the Silent Hill language, it decides to do something different with its ending rather than just giving it to you straight what actually happened. And I'm like,
maybe I also do think maybe if I had actually played New Game Plus, it would have been sprinkled in throughout like more so during the actual game what was going on, because like you don't get to the end of 1 through 3 or even Origins without knowing what was going on with these people. Like you know what everything means, you know who these people are and what they're actually going through by the end. But even like the more definitive answers you get in the later endings in Silent Hill F are still kind of like up to interpretation. um but with I also found myself a little more tied to the first ending after I finished my Silent Hill 1 replay,
Mm-hmm.
because I had basically picked Silent Hill 1 to replay because it was the only one of the original trilogy that I had only played once, and that I had played, like 10 plus years ago and was kind of cloudy on my memory of. Um
Mm-hmm.
so Silent Hill 1 and 3 and most of the other games after that point are all really centered on the cult that is uh taking residence in Silent Hill. And as you go on in 1, you realize that there is a particular type of flower that grows in like the water areas around Toluca Lake, which is where like the lake that Silent Hill the town is built around,
Mm-hmm.
called the White Claudia, and that it has like a hallucinogenic effect, and the cult has been working with the Silent Hill Hospital to manufacture pills containing White Claudia so that um uh
Make drugs.
they can make drugs to basically spread their fucking cult practices. And so I was looking at the file on White Claudia in Silent Hill 1 and going, this flower looks really familiar. I wonder where I've seen
Oh
this. And it is on the garb of Kotoyuki Fox Mask.
shit. Okay.
So
That.
you also end up, um like if you walk around in Silent Hill F, you can actually just see White Claudia growing in a bunch of places. And so you learn in like another playthrough that Shu, actually no, you can learn it in first playthrough, that Shu and his family was the one who had like given Hinako these red pills,
Yep.
um to deal with like whatever stress she was going through. I uh, assume with her upcoming marriage. And like because Shu's dad was a doctor, and he was trying to work with more modern medicine but was kind of getting pushed to deal with more like traditional
Traditional
herbal
medicine.
remedies and shit. And so
And
he
you can see a journal some at one point of a elderly person or someone from family being like, "Damn, yeah, the elderly like traditional medicine really is the best. It fixed all our problems and shit." And now in retrospect, it's like, "Oh yes, they've just been on fucking drugs."
yeah. And so it was really cool to me to get like, I mean, maybe you shouldn't design your game to be played this way, but it was cool to me to get answers for Silent Hill F by replaying Silent Hill 1. Which is why earlier I had said like, yeah, I think this game is a lot more tied to 1 than like 2
Mm,
or something. Um so that was pretty neat, and I liked that, all the things she had gone through in the Dark Shrine at this point tracked pretty nicely with, someone turning to pills or, substances of any kind to kind of cope with what they're going through, and
mhm.
that coping would lead them to make the kind of decisions that she makes throughout the Dark Shrine.
I agree. It's like now that I learned that, it's like I'm appreciating even more. And again, like I said that like about like I really I pretty much I feel positive about the other engines, But I do feel like the original ending, the first one, is the one that really ties it all together.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
Especially with the little hints that you get of like what's going on with Hinako. You find a poster of like a missing persons poster, and you see that
yep.
Hinako's been missing. And because like me and my fiance had been kind of wondering the whole time what was going on with Hinako. You and I had been talking about like what the fuck's going on with Hinako. I had been saying like if this game sucks, it's that she's been dead the whole time. Uh but like
But no, it
it
turns
turns
out
out
she's killed some motherfucker.
it turns out that she just went on a fucking bender and ran into the woods high as fuck on these pills and then came back and started just fucking assaulting people or something. Also
And
may
so
have
either
done so at her
that,
wedding ceremony, which I think is
yeah,
more what happened.
yeah, I think basically what, like, to me, the canon quote unquote thing that happened in the real world is that Hinako, who was about to get married, and like, due to all her past trauma and her family baggage and shit, she um like she was in a very high amount of stress, and she was taking the pills to bear through it. um Shu probably crashed the wedding, or maybe he did something to the one that she was going to marry um, before the wedding started. Um, but what matters is that on the day of the wedding, she finally fucking snapped and went on a fucking bender. Probably killed her dad there, I
Mm-hmm.
assume, or maybe it's what you said, and she assaulted him uh, before. I think actually, think about it. Yeah, I think she actually assaulted him, battered him when she was a minor. Um,
I
and
think
then
so too, yeah.
life went on. And then once she went on this bender, on this bender during her wedding ceremony, then she went to Silent Hill. And then it's like, oh, those is Silent Hill an actual spiritual place, or is it just in her head? And that's the ending with the two Hinakos that I think, like, leaves the question open, because you could totally interpret the story as like, oh, the fox hair ended up doing the thing the foxes have always been doing, which is lure a maiden into the woods and spirit her away. uh, or
Mm-hmm.
it's just some rich kid really didn't do well. Really shouldn't have tried to marry someone that was clearly didn't want this.
Yeah.
I mean, that what's fucked up about Sanity F is that I think the marriage ending and the Hinako in the Dark Shrines that willfully does all of those terrible things to herself is, I believe, and again, a big white guy talking here, so super equipped, but it's like, when you have issues with your family, marriage can be seen as something to protect yourself from it, because you are living in someone else's house. Uh, you start another family that isn't your own, and that is like its own power. You go from their child to a more equal footing kind of situation. And it's like, marriage can be liberating in that way, because you are, I mean, it's fucked up, but it's like you are in someone else's property. You are someone else's propriety, but this someone else's is the equal to your parents, and so you're protected from them, or from your family in general.
Right.
And like, the Fox Hinako expresses several times that um, you're you're just getting in my way. I just want. She, the word she uses is very specific, especially in Japanese. But it's like, she wants to be left alone, but not like actually left alone, but like, she she wants to emancipate herself. But in Lisa, when we told about how Buddy, I was just about to call her Lisa. uh, about how Buddy wants to emancipate. Oh, I don't have the word in fucking English.
You got it. You got it.
Emancipate herself is through self determination and through violence by becoming the top dog. Here it's like it's in the real world, so the most realistic thing is like, well, starting another family with someone that actually cares for her, because that's what the story seems to be telling, is that though mistaken, misled, Fox Mask actually does care for Inako in the same way that Shrew does. uh, this doesn't seem like such a bad choice, except that if you actually choose that ending, then she ends up, the trauma ends up cutting, getting back to her.
Yeah, I mean, she's choosing emancipation from being one person's property to being another. And
Yep.
so that's where her like her need to go on a bender is coming from. And I think that's
Yeah.
where the true ending like comes into play, is her finally like kind of accepting that she can be herself and Fox Coon's wife at the same time, and she doesn't have to only be one of them. And then
Right.
they sit on the Torii gate and look over Ebi Ebisu Gao Ebisu Gauka uh
Nailed it.
um
Not
because I
sarcastic. You
because
did.
I think the other thing is like, not only is marrying him like transferring from one family to another, but I think it's also probably leaving Ebisugo Ebisugalka. Like, it's probably
Did
going to
it.
wherever the fuck he lives.
Hmm.
And I think that may be where like her fucking killing all her friends in the Dark Shrine earlier comes from, is like she is abandoning them to emancipate herself.
Yeah. But like the whole Dark Shrine thing is like, oh, you will need to do these things and these things and these things in order to become my wife. And these things include, well, you forget about your childhood drama. You go through. You mask your face. You sew off your arm. You brand yourself like me. I think this can be left up to interpretation, but it's like things that are this painful to Hinako.
Yeah.
I think it can be summed up as. And I just want to bring up also like the opposite ending of the Fox marriage. So the Shu ending, where he comes in with a bat and fucking beats the shit out of Fox Mask.
Uh-huh.
And basically, what happens then? What's weird is that in this ending, at the very end, there's a radio that's talking about some fucking jasers are coming off, and I I don't know what it means. I just wanted to mention it because I find it weird and I still don't know how to make sense of that. But this ending matters in that, oh, it's quote unquote good because, oh, Inako rejects completely Fox Mask and runs off and listens to her childhood friends and her childhood self to just like the good old days, just play beating the aliens.
Yeah.
But this ending kind of takes a dark turn when you realize that Shu is the one that's been giving her the pills, and that he didn't, like, he was jealous of the fucking Fox Mask for being the one she ends up marrying. He was like, Shu was jealous of Fox Mask and wanted Hinako to keep being hers in his own words.
Mm-hmm. And I think there's the thing you can consider too is like, it would Kotoyuki actually be making her do all this shit, or is this just her fear of what marriage is because that's what her dad did to her mom? Like, Kotoyuki's probably a chill fucking guy. Like, we don't really know.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like, but again, I come back to this symbology with the when she gets her arm and all that shit sewn off. Like Kotoyoki is aware that there is a pain involved. He is ready to offer help, but not the kind of help she actually needs. What the double personality ending really really feels like a good ending, quote unquote, is because it's just Hinako on her own with, her double, but she is just overlooking the town from this hill, and she has space and silence all for herself. And it's like, oh, that's what her deal is. All she needed was space and be left alone for a while. It's not about going on a bender and like um, going ape shit with a baseball bat. That's what this person needed at this time in her life. But she probably didn't get it and instead went on a bender on her own winding.
Yeah.
I mean, based, but damn. We really ended up joining back with Lisa, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's awesome.
I had no idea just how connected these games would be that I picked out for us to talk about. And it's like
Hell
no
yeah.
matter what ending / story branch we're talking about, it's Lisa all the way down. I mean, the original new game ending is just her going on a fucking bender like Brad
Mm. Damn, you're right. Damn straight.
and transforming
It's
into a joy mutant.
yeah. Hell yeah. That's and man, what a joy mutant design
I
on
know.
that faceless maiden, the married monster.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great fucking design.
Yeah, it is.
Um, we went on a tangent again, but I like it a lot. I'm having fun.
Yeah, I mean, what what
We're
else?
not professional podcasters.
What else do we
Whatever.
have to say? I mean, do you?
It's just I just meant it in the sense that like we were going to talk about the Ebisu residents and then we
Oh yeah,
went on the endings again. Whatever. I really don't think of it as a negative. I don't
yeah.
know.
I mean, I I yeah.
Let's talk about the experience of recording podcast.
Okay, that's a kind of Silent Hill of its own for sure.
Oh yeah.
And then the final boss, you finally fight the wedding monster as normal Hinako, but for some reason you do it with your normal breakable weapons, which fucking sucks. And that's all I have to say about it.
So how many tries did it take you?
One, but it was just annoying
Okay.
and took
Yeah, me too. It
forever
took me one try.
because like I had to ration out things and make sure I didn't break all my fucking weapons and like
Yeah.
it's just so weird. Like I get that the whole point of it is that Hinako Werehog Hinako is like the one that's transforming and you have to beat it as normal Hinako, but it feels so weird
Beat
that
your trauma.
but
Face your trauma together.
but it feels so
Sorry.
weird to be like in the Dark Shrine having unbreakable Dark Shrine weapons, and then for this final boss you are in the Dark Shrine with your normal shitty ass decomposing weapons. And the boss has so much fucking health. How are you supposed to beat it without breaking all 3 of your weapons? I don't get it.
By using the repair kits that give you beforehand, but it's like, back to the item management kind of problem of this whole fucking game.
Yeah,
What would have been earlier.
I had no repair kits going into this fight.
They give you, if you look out for it in the last stretch of the section, you can go on the sides and find some, but it's like,
I think I used them during that section because my weapons were fucking breaking during this section because I had to fight 3 fucking pregnancy monsters.
Yeah, it's not good. Again, it should have just, rather than this gambit of several monsters in a row, just cut them. Fight the boss straight away.
Yeah.
Maybe have some moments to reflect and have some appearances of the creepy doll, which I'm still not sure what exactly that thing is about, but and then lead straight to the boss.
Yeah, let's unpack this here. One, what the fuck is up with Junko? That's something I feel really uncertain about. The whole time leading up, I had thought Fog Monster was Junko because
Yeah, because of the
Junko's
face.
the only one that has like a full mask on, and the the Fog Monster has no face. But also, I thought maybe the doll was Junko trying to protect her, but I don't think that's the case
No,
either.
I don't
So,
think
so
either.
what is the doll? What do we think the doll is? Is it true Hinako telling? Is it is it Hinako from the future, from the true ending of the game, telling her not to play the first ending of the game?
I guess that would be it. Because Hinako is playing on her own at the very beginning and she's talking to the doll. I think so. I think it is Hinako.
Is it
Uh,
her childhood self? Oh, all right. No, yeah, that's got to be what it is. Because the if what's happening in the Dark Shrine is the process of Hinako um getting married to Kotoyuki and losing her identity as a person, and the doll is basically just telling her not to go through with it, then maybe that is what it is. It is Hinako's inherent rebellion against conforming to the marriage system or whatever.
yeah. It's just the game is doing a bit of a, like, it seems very simple to just show that, but the game is putting a bunch of red herrings, weirdly. Like,
Yeah.
in one of the endings that you look at, Junko tries to reach out to Hinako, and then she stops, and then you see the back of Hinako, like the doll is piggyback riding her, looking at Junko like she just that world deals her. Like,
Uh-huh.
so it's like, what's what is this, some eldritch entity? It's, yeah. I honestly, I feel like your reasoning is probably on the mark. It's just that the game is putting a bunch of red herrings that I still don't know what are they are about.
Mhm. I I after saying that, I just googled Silent Hill F doll to just see what some of the top results might be. And one of them says it's representative of westernization coming to rural Japan, and that is maybe they have a point there. I'm not going to read that and then
That's
and then
interesting,
talk
I
about it, but
guess.
I don't know. Maybe they're cooking here. Maybe I'll look into that. Cuz
Huh.
I
I
guess it
mean,
is like a
there is
little white girl.
so okay. At in the first part of the game, there is a document that was like, oh, they're playing war games. Like Hinako and Shu are playing war against the aliens, you know.
Mhm.
And when you hear about, oh, well, they're waging war against the invaders, it really read to me as, oh yeah, there is still a lot of anti-American sentiment after the war. No
Mhm.
shit. Um, but I didn't see anything else that spoke to me in that way. So I kind of forgot about it until now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I honestly, my assumption was that they picked aliens just because the alien joke ending is a running gag in the series. But maybe
¿Por
you're
qué no los buff?
yeah, true. Um yeah, interesting to think about.
But I mean, the game doesn't really do anything else with it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's another secret ending where Hinako becomes like a little blonde white girl, and I'm going to end that bit there cuz I don't know where I was going with it.
I liked it.
Thank you.
Yeah, damn, we covered everything of the first ending, I believe.
Yeah, I mean more or
Yeah,
less. I don't know. I'm kind of out of things to talk about, I think.
me too.
Silent Hill F
Damn,
everybody.
we nailed it. We did it.
It's our shortest episode yet.
Is it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean,
I felt like
my recording time isn't even at 2 hours yet. It's approaching it, but even like our Gods Will Be Talking episode that was only like an hour and a half was still like 2+ hours of recording before getting edited down. So I made a big point about including these like when we first started, but I have basically not like I've basically not prepared anything past fucking Lisa or past Gods Will Be Watching even in terms of like external media to check out. Do you have anything you wanted to shout out for this? Should we drop this section altogether?
Fuck. Watch anime.
Nah.
This game is very.
Nah.
This game is very. No, it's actually like.
Read manga.
Yeah, that too. Like, I think I thought when I was playing with my sister this game, we were talking a lot about Corpse Party, which isn't a manga or an anime. It's a game actually.
There is an anime.
Which is-
I don't know if it's good, but
Oh god, it's probably horrible. I mean, that's a rotten. Corpse Party is a rotten media right there.
yeah.
It's just I wouldn't say it's interesting, but it is rotten. I don't have anything to come to mind, but I'm not. I don't think we need to make a section of it, but I don't think we need to just
Yeah, I mean,
banish the AD to the Shadow Realm either.
sure. I think I also just already did all of that by talking about other Silent Hill. Just go play more Silent Hill. It fucking rules. I do have some suggestions for you specifically, not necessarily the listener. If
Okay.
you want to deepen your horror game horizons, I'm still gonna start like pretty normie, like no real deep cuts or anything. Which is just to say, like, play the Resident Evil 2 remake or Resident Evil 7. Just pick one of those. They're both on sale right now. Steam spring sale is happening right now. So go get yourself one of those and play it. It's
Okay.
good. I will say, if you want whichever one is scarier or less scary, Resident Evil 7 is way scarier than Resident Evil 2 remake. But Resident Evil
Yeah,
2 remake
yeah.
is a much better game.
Resident Evil 7 isn't on sale.
It's not? Capcom, what are you doing? All right, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Why would 7 not be on sale? That's crazy.
Wait, motherfucker! They put on sale the package, not the fucking. Wait, what? Okay, hold on. How the fuck?
Ooh, you could get 90% off of the Resident Evil 3 remake. Everyone loves
Wait,
that
hold
one.
on. I don't understand. So Resident Evil 2 Biohazard Standard Edition isn't on sale?
Oh,
Buy
the Raccoon City edition. They gotta get you to buy Resident Evil 3 somehow.
Seriously? You are not putting on sale Resident Evil 2 just so that I buy a bundle with Resident Evil 3 and Resident Evil Resistance, which I don't know what the fuck this is, and... Okay.
Hey, listen. I have not played the original 2 or 3. I really want to. Like, I can borrow the opinion based on what I've seen that the 3 remake is a terrible remake, but it's still a pretty fun game on your own. And so if you're gonna get it bundled in with Resident Evil 2 remake for $13, that's kind of a solid deal. I wouldn't be upset about that.
My usual retailing site is offering Resident Evil 2 for $9, so I'm just going to wait that they get it back in stock.
Damn. Yeah, that's probably a good move.
And I really want to get back to finishing Sekiro, because the more I wait playing back this game, the more I'm going to get whiplashed from the difficulty.
True. I am commanding you to buy Resident Evil 5 for $5 though.
What?
That is on sale for
Dude.
$5. I am demanding that you buy that game.
Dude, do we... No.
Why not? Why not?
Because the game is fucking rancid.
And
What?
Your point being?
If we have to play a game in co-op, we have Monster Hunters to play for. We have a bunch of other games. We have fucking Maple Story. I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to give my money for this rancid piece of shit.
I was.
I understand what you were saying about the Cops game. I didn't really care at this point, but now I do. Fuck.
I was trying to buy it for you, but I cannot. Steam will not allow me to buy it for you because of regional price differences.
Look, okay. I hear you. Let me sleep on it, okay?
Okay. You can.
Why did they make this fucking game?
You can join Lincoln in having your only Resident Evil experience be playing 5 and 6 co-op with me, and that would be really interesting.
I would be down for 6. 6 looks fun. I remember watching a Let's Play back in the day.
5 is a bit more fun for co-op, I think.
Yeah, but 5 is rented.
And your point.
I don't want to give money for this game. This racist piece of fucking shit.
Hey, man.
Did you just say amen?
Huh? Yeah. Hey.
All right, that's it, folks.
So what's the big takeaway from Silent Hill F? It is that you should buy Resident Evil 5 during the spring Steam sale and play it with your boy, because you'll have a blast, and it's only $5. And that's what everyone should take away from Silent Hill F.
I'm glad it exists.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.